To begin our Smart Start with some news this morning on the salvage crews. They're still trying to recover the remains from the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. after that deadly collision there between a passenger jet and an Army helicopter last week.
At this point, most but not all the victims have been recovered and also identified. Crews have also lifted out the right engine, a wing, and the fuselage belonging to that American Airlines plane out of the water. For today in the river, their goal is to recover the cockpit. Though Monday during their operation, they paused the salvage effort many times after finding more remains.
Our process is committed to the dignified process for recovery of the remains for personnel and passengers of the flight.
As NTSB investigators look into the cause of this crash, they do say the data from the black boxes indicate the plane was flying around 325 feet at the time of the collision. That is higher than the 200-foot threshold set by the FAA for helicopter traffic in the area. They also say the plane appeared to pull up about a second before the crash, a possible final attempt trying to move out of the path of that chopper.
Well, nearly 3 years later, the mother of a man who was killed in a snowmobile crash near Watertown says she discovered more to this tragic story.
We interviewed Phyllis Romano-Eldred, who says the only way to describe her son Casey is special. A passion of his was riding snowmobiles. It was a trip to one of Casey's favorite spots in the town of Montague in April 2022 that would change that family forever. Troopers say Casey was going back to his truck one night when he was hit head-on by another rider on a snowmobile after missing a blind spot. Phyllis says weeks into grieving, thinking this was just an accident, she says they learned there was something else.
I saw one picture of his snowmobile and it almost looked like he did try to turn left to avoid the other man, but the man that hit him had a blood alcohol of 0.168 and he hit Casey head on and they both were killed.
Since the crash, Phyllis has been working with state lawmakers trying to create better legislation and enforcement when it comes to people who should not be driving a snowmobile if they've been drinking. Those efforts include pushing a bill in the Senate that would add snowmobile riders to the list of those banned from driving with a blood alcohol level that is higher than what is the legal threshold.
President Trump's tariffs against Mexico and Canada are currently on hold, at least until March 4th.
Got that news Monday. The president spoke with the leaders of both nations as they agreed to work together with American officials on border security. The 25% tariffs on most imports from the two countries were set to go into effect today. Meanwhile, China announced its own tariffs against some U.S. energy and machinery exports in response to President Trump's 10% tax levy on Chinese goods. The president says he does plan to speak with China's leaders soon, with that country's tariffs set to officially kick in next week.
Happening today, and in response to the recent assault and death of an inmate at Marcy Correctional Facility, the Rochester Police Accountability Board plans to host a public forum, calling for change and action. Robert Brooks died in December, where body camera video has shown he was violently beaten by several prison officers the day before. All of them have since been suspended or resigned as a special prosecutor investigates the case. The PAB says this is not an isolated incident, and they hope tonight's forum will provide a platform for anyone who's been affected by, quote, incarceration-related injustices. The president of the Urban League of Rochester serving as the mistress of ceremonies. That event starts at 6 at East High School.
The Red Wings are remembering one of their own.
Yes, sad news here. The Rochester Hall of Famer Rich Dower has died at the age of 72. Dower played for the Wings in 1976 and 77, winning the International League Rookie of the Year and MVP during his first year in Rochester. His successes paved the way for an accomplished MLB career as an infielder with the Baltimore Orioles. He played 10 seasons with the O's and was a key member of the 1983 World Series championship as a player and then as a coach in 2017 with Houston.
Football and Super Bowl week storylines out of New Orleans. Just an amazing city, the perfect one to host the title game. Not only because there might not be a better party spot anywhere in the country any day of the year, but also because the crazies from Super Bowl opening night fit right in. NOLA, with all the celebrations, the pomp and circumstance you would expect to usher in Super Bowl 59, a marching band for the team's arrival at the Superdome. It seemed to be just a tad bit more laid back compared to previous media nights. We did see former star receiver Chad Ochocinco there kissing Eagles coach Nick Sirianni. Saquon Barkley for Philly got the full Nickelodeon MVP treatment. For KC, the Chiefs talked about being the team fans just hate to see this time of year.
People hate the Chiefs? I didn't know that.
I was that guy. I was a Cowboys fan growing up, and I used to hate the Patriots. I think more than anything, I appreciate the greatness of the Patriots more now when I see how hard it was to do what they did. But we just go out there and play the game that we love, the way that we feel like is the right way, and all the other stuff is kind of outside noise.
I don't let outside noise fuel me or motivate me. I have all the motivation right here and with the people that I go to work with and who I show up for. I just try and be the most accountable guy that I can for them.
You have fun with it because it kind of brings you closer together when people are rooting against you. You just kind of become a tighter brotherhood in that locker room, and we can bring ourselves together, have Chiefs Kingdom with us, and go out there and try to win the game against everybody.
Mahomes' voice gets me every time when you hear him speak. Super Bowl Sunday kicks off at 6:30. Final look at sunrise traffic here, 6:55 in our Greater Rock Sky. Running through some of the issues we have so far. Just a new one reported the last 5 minutes at 390 northbound and Henrietta Road. First responders also on scene over in the Brighton-Penfield area, 490 westbound near Penfield Road. We'll be checking that again in 30 minutes. For now, your weather with James.
Random snow showers here and there. For the most part, could be a little bit icy underfoot, though. So watch out for that kind of first step outside. As we have that rain snow overnight, a few tenths of an inch for most spots, maybe an inch or so if you're a little bit further north along the shoreline. Then ups and downs for the rest of the week.
At least it's predictable.
Yeah, getting there. Thank you, James. We'll be back with more weather and news at 7:25.
Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.